this is Esvardul. Welcome back to another episode of my game development live stream. Today, we're going to be focusing on some level design, actually. One of the things that I was looking through the project and decided I really need to do is spruce up one of the parts of the main quest. It's the Karikako Crypts. Now, before I get into that, though, I do want to show you the progress on what I worked on last week, just so you know that, hey, it's there, it's done. Go ahead and open this world map scene for you. I haven't copied the particle system to all of these just yet. But if I go ahead and set my ambassador object, let's go ahead and call it something ridiculous like, oh, I don't know, main 8. Actually, that was perfectly planned, believe it or not. Then we have our particles falling towards Karikako Village. So there you go. I went ahead and did that up for all of the world map locations. There's some other things like in towns that I still need to go ahead and do up those for. So I'm going to do that on my own. You saw me generally build the particle system. You may not have seen the code, but pretty much I just tie it to these sequences. If for a given particle system, if it's one of its sequences is the current sequence in the ambassador, it emits the particles, otherwise it doesn't. That's all there is to it. So there you go. Let's do something a little bit more interesting though. Let's go ahead, I called it the Karikako Catacombs back in the day. I'm going to go ahead and not save. Right, so one of the things that we really need to do is generally restructure this thing. Let me go ahead and give you some background information on it. Pretty much what goes on here, you've just got to the part of the main side quest where you are trying to find an ancient magical artifact that has been hidden in the town of Karikako for Lady Barbara Mancellus. She's the noble in charge of the extremely large Mancellus region. Well, thing is, it's being stored for safekeeping down in this crypt, of course. So you have to go in and find it. Now, the way I did this back in the day, I had a philosophy when working on the game that I was trying to keep everything in a defensible vector to the player. Let me go ahead and explain actually why I did that. See, this game is based off of the Zelda 2 rules. So I can attack the sides, I can crouch and attack, my shield moves with me and defends whichever way I'm facing. There's also 2 other abilities you can unlock where you attack while leaping or attack while falling. In this case, for just this scene, I don't have those abilities on the player, but those are things that you can do. However, those are part of a side quest. What I really need to do with this scene, though, is I need to make it a little bit more... need to make it a little bit easier to... well, not easier. I actually need to make it, in a way, a little bit harder for... Crap, me. Oh, stupid Telegast. There we go, got a health crystal out of him. But yeah, see, this is the problem. What I sort of did when I was at this point in developing the game was I created these sort of death lines with these Telegasts. Now, there's one serious problem with this. You don't gain the Hero's Hilt, which is a power-up that allows you to deflect blue magic bolts until the second evil castle. This is before that. So as you can see, I've created a very difficult situation. Actually, I haven't. That's even worse. Let me show you the correct answer to this situation. Whee! Screw you! Okay, yeah, see? And the physics is a little bit wonky, which I'm probably going to resolve at a later point. And see, I can't get back up here. I have it set up so that all roads lead to the bottom. And then there's this guy who lets you finish it. So what I really need to do, I need to redesign this. This is pretty horrible. Let's do that, actually. So the first thing I really think I need to do, go ahead and go into 2D mode for this. I'm going to go through and I'm probably going to delete all of these teleghasts. We don't need them. I may keep the steel guards. Those are important for general sword fighting. But ultimately, they're not really... I could replace them with shatados or slimes. I mean, those are perfectly valid options instead. The other problem, though, is that I need to do something about the dungeon layout. Because, see, the correct answer to this dungeon, you start here, you just go here, you can either... Shortest path is actually to the left. So you just go, whee, down here, beat that guy, go off to the left, there you go. We have some problems with this. There's no reason you would want to go to the right, and because of the current layout, it's sort of this split way, there's no benefit, there's no reason that you would ever want to go to the right. Pretty much, the only thing I can conclude when I was developing this level is I was smoking or drinking something extremely potent. Actually, I was just really rushed and not paying proper attention, and that led to some just generally bad design. So, right, now we're doing something about it. Let's go ahead first. Actually, tell you what, I extended all those. Something else I need to bring up, actually. You may notice I've got all my geometry together, but more to the point, I have like all the floor tiles grouped together. Well, that, if I open my inspector, is because I have a mesh combiner running on these. It's for performance reasons. The Unity game engine can handle a single big object much more easily than it can handle a bunch of little ones. So, what I've got here is everything grouped together. When the scene actually runs, there's a little bit of lag, but that's because it's consolidating all of these meshes into a single object. And then it's also generating colliders as necessary. But yeah, that's why this is set up sort of the way it is. But as for actually doing something about these, well, first, there's a lot of cobwebs, and I can go back and add those later. Torches, I can go back and add those. Wait, there's a torch I'm missing. Yeah, torches, I can go back and I can add those later as well. Let's see what we've got here. This divider wall is not going to stay. The two-half approach, I could add stuff like teleport crystals. I have a whole bunch of tools in my tool set that I could use to attempt to make this more interesting. But really, the two-half thing, I think it's better if I just redesign the dungeon completely with y'all watching. That's really what I, the developer, think is best in this situation. I don't think this is an effective mini-dungeon. Go ahead and get rid of this supporting column as well, but not that one, because that's there to add a little bit of depth to this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm probably going to change some of my grouping. for this a little bit. I might do some more clever naming off screen as part of this redesign process. Okay. Actually, here's this power up. Super health pickup. Drop those. We don't need those. Actually, tell you what. Let's just go for a clean sweep, shall we? No more steel guards. We're just completely redoing this dungeon. And my little laptop that I'm using to watch my Twitch chat just went to sleep. Excuse me one moment. Yeah. So while I'm actually restarting my laptop, this is a good time to talk about what I'm going to do with this mini dungeon. First thing I know I need to do is something more along the lines of the various caverns in the game. There's a lot of places in the game that I think I've set up some really interesting mobility puzzles, which, other than the sword fighting, is the other reason you'd play a side-scrolling sword fighter. The next thing, though, is I do need to make sure that there is some sword fighting. That way, both of the main forms of play are covered and provided for. So let's see what we've got here. We've got a large room. That's certainly a start. This is going to be the canvas onto which I paint the challenges. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to set up sort of a initial. I'm going to sort of stick with the twin column setup, but each of these ways is sort of going to feed into the other. So what it's going to lead to is the player is going to have to solve some challenges in order to progress with the dungeon. Probably, since I am on such a budget, there is a limit to how many of these meshes I can put together. Probably what I'm going to want to do is actually make this a puzzle. After all, this is a crypt. There are the dead are buried here, and is protecting the Perseus boots, which is the power-up you get that lets you walk on certain areas that you couldn't before. It's pretty much a key and door mechanic, except you don't even know that the doors are there. Which is something I may also go back and mess with in a future dev session, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right, so go ahead and get rid of all of these. Nope, not that. is 15 by is here. We're going to duplicate those. Okay. So challenges. We get to go ahead and flush these out. I'm going to take these walls, extrude them out. Right. Actually, no, this is even. Or I got a little bit zealous. Okay, so I've made these sort of these self-contained rooms, and that's sort of how we're going to implement the puzzle. I'm going to be showing the player a miniaturized version of the evil castle. I'm going to introduce them to the concepts. Some of these concepts, actually in their own way, were explained all the way back in Garland's, the very first Evil Lord's evil castle, which, for the player, that's not terribly long before this. They'll be familiar that when you see let's go ahead. Probably going to do this case. Let's be a little bit devious. The form of this mini dungeon is still going to be symmetrical. So what we're going to do is add a twist, a caveat, if you will. Get where you want to go, you need to negotiate the teleporter maze. that. Like that. Also, don't be concerned about me typing. Apparently there are some shortcuts. I'm going to have it emitting the opposite direction. There we go. So here's what I'm thinking. We have these two flame barriers right here that block this this part. Next thing we're going to do, those are just normal crystals. Local teleporter. There we go. I'm not going to have it floating in the middle of the air. Go ahead and displace it by about half of a unit. Yeah, that looks good. Actually, wait, one. There we go. Yeah, there we go. This teleporter, we're going to call this local teleporter to end. No, we're not. Yep. This teleporter is going to put you right here. However, you have to get to this teleporter. That's going to be the tricky part. So what we're going to do Didn't duplicate? The heck? Okay. Okay, well, works for me, I guess. Right, so there's two halves. Player falls right here. They can't get to here. They know they need to because it's blocked off. They have 3 teleporters. They have to hit. They have to do 2 things in order to disable these traps. Does that make any sense? Does that really make any sense? I don't know. I don't think it makes any sense. Hello, there's someone else just joined the stream. How's it going, man? Yeah, so I really don't know. Am I going about designing this the right way? That's hard to say. For those just joining the stream, I'm not letting my computer go to sleep again. I am redesigning the Karikako Catacombs. It's a mini dungeon that happens about halfway through the main story in my game, The Hero's Journey. I'm actually going to ask... Yeah, there we go. I'm going to ask if I can be heard because I may not be able to be heard. I'm a little bit worried about my headphones. I think they are dying, and the problem is the side that has the microphone is the side that is dying. Not going to wait too long for a response, however. Right, so... Okay, so this is the final part. This leads down here. These... Maybe I don't need those. I do know I need a teleporter. Because something needs to get you into this chamber. Hey, we'll do this. This setup a little bit. Alright. I think I've got it. So there will be a switch right here and right here. It'll be guarded by some monsters. There'll be a trigger that causes a monster to spawn behind the column. So you'll have 2 monsters closing in on you that you'll have to fight off in order to activate each switch. Activating this switch disables this thing. There's more monsters waiting for you down here. that will allow you to take the crystal back up to here and do the other side. So you go through the same thing again, hit the switch, kill the monsters, get down here, kill the monsters, take this. When you deactivate the second switch, a teleport crystal will appear right up here. You take the teleport crystal here, have the final fight go down, take this teleport crystal down here, which lets you finish the mini dungeon. In this way, the player learns about teleporter system. I'm exposing it to them in a really limited form. They learn that that there is a relationship between switches and fire traps. Yeah, there we go. That teaches the player stuff. It's a little bit more interesting than the old setup was. All right, I think we're onto something. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are finally onto something. So let's go ahead, get some switches out here. Actually, let me go ahead and collapse all of these. Kind of redundant. Whoa, need to do that. Yeah, look at all those walls. I may have to refactor out some of the walls from each other. I'm a little bit worried. Right. Sort of humble, but not too bad. Go ahead and get about 14. There we go. We're going to do my 0.5. That way it rests right in the middle. A flame. Finally, the battle chamber. This will lead right here. You have to overcome the encounter, and then this guy takes you to the end. All right. But we need to do something with this guy. Tell you what. Opponent. That's not really what I want to do either. What I want to do is I want to make I want it to require two switches in order for this to appear. That's what I'm really after right now. Spawner now. It's been a while since I've looked at my list of one we added last time. It's been a while since I looked at my list of scripts. Activate objects on death, alter thread on death. Or no. It is not a pressure switch. I could make a script to do this on camera. That would be a little bit interesting. I'm not really sure I want to do that. Not it either. Scene spawner isn't either. That's something different. Spam is a effect. Right. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to write something for this. Switch despawner, tell you what. I'm going to create a brand new one. Switch combo activator. We're going to create a switch combination activator. Do some coding. This will be really, really quick, I think. Okay. All right. Properties. Looks. All right. Then require a bunch of switches. I'm going to have a true or false value that I'm going to say yeah, I'm just going to say it's going to be activate. If you push all the switches and this is true, it will make the object appear. If you actually activate object, which is going to be false by default, you'll see what I have in mind with that. All right, so we're going to do a public void update. Yeah. This is a block of log. I think I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this. Let's go ahead and call it naval object, but I'm going to make it check. switches. That. There we go. There's some nice clean code for you. Every frame we'll see if the switches are pressed. That's just a Boolean lookup, very quick. If they are, go ahead and add some curly braces so to make this a little bit more understandable. If they are, then we'll do whatever we said with the activate object flag. Either we'll make the object enabled or we'll disable the object, depending. So because this isn't going to work. Object. To activate the object. Right. We've still got a problem though. I just thought of. And that problem is that affected game object. compile again. There we go. All right, we're good. Move this over here. Bring that to full. Let's try it. Actually, let's not. I just thought of something again. Haha. Okay. Right, so what's this point? Okay, so this point is 6, -5. So it's going to be 6, -5, -0.5. 6. Oh, you don't go to sleep. -5, -0.5. We go. So we've got some debug code there. Pretty much I need to know that it's properly picking up. And Alright, I can hear more sound, so... Alright, cool. Alright, I'm glad my headphones are coming through. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and try this again. I'm thinking that maybe the issue I was having with my teleporter was that the object was just appearing in the wrong place. Let's go ahead and make sure that that's the case when I activate both of these switches. Jump over the fire. I may want to add some other fires. Have some more fighting right here. Okay, so we've still got problems. Right. Go ahead and stop that for right now. Okay. So where we're at is what I've been trying to do is I've taken the crypts and I've revised them into having a sort of a hybrid switch and teleporter puzzle. The idea is that the player fights to both of the switches, triggers them, fights a little bit more to a teleporter that takes them back to the top. They have to do that for both sides of the dungeon in order to in order to get a teleporter right here to appear. This teleporter takes them right here, which is where a really tough encounter is going to happen. And then, when they finally get to this crystal, they get put right down here, where they get to just finish out the mini dungeon. And that's it. And of course, I'm going to greet the new people in the stream. Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just I'm going ahead and just asking chat right now. Just speak up if you're not hearing anything. I suspect my headphones kind of dying. No, but it seems the sound was fixed. Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Mashalls thinks that may have been their PC. I'm sure. I'm sure it wasn't. Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't. My headphones are losing sound in the left earpiece, and my mic is attached to the left earpiece. So it's probably me. And of course, whenever I start streaming, start losing sound. But tell you what, let's spice things up. Let's go ahead and add some fights to this. I think you all want to see some things that are more than just the battle chamber teleporter. So let's go ahead and get some steel guards. We're going to go ahead and add another one. Right. We don't want them to be too close to the switch, but we don't want them to be too... Then we're going to add one right here. By game. There. All right. So I've added some super health pickups so that so that whenever whenever you've gotten done with a hard fight, that you can just you can heal up pretty quickly. You can have a really variable number of hearts at this point in the game, but the point will be that you can survive a few more sword fights. So I'll tell you what. Alright, I think I've got some sound. Alright. Alright. I think I've got some more sound. Cool. That's good. It's really good. I'm not moving my microphone. I'm not moving my cords. I'm sitting very still so that I can actually talk about what's going on in my development while I'm doing it. And I'm totally buying headphones like tomorrow, swear to God. Yeah, so I've added some steel guards, just a really basic enemy. There we go. Fought him off. I'm probably going to add a little encounter right beyond these columns right here. And there's going to be another steel guard. Let's get him. He hit me. Okay. So he got me down to 1.5 hearts, but it's cool. We have our handy-dandy health crystals. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Ow. Crap. That's not good. I could die, actually. Aha, take that. There we go. One of the things I'm going to try to address at a later date is the wonky physics. I mean, I've totally got like Bethesda physics going on in this game, and I think I know why, but I'm not absolutely sure. Right, so I've activated both switches. There should be a teleport crystal right here. There is no teleport crystal. Dang it. Right, so, I do. Well, a few things, actually. Okay, so tell you what. The dialogue trigger, freeze trigger, yeah. Event location, tell you what, yeah, we're going to do an event there. What we're going to do is when you walk about right here, actually in about this area, another steel guard's going to appear right there and right there, and it'll be mirrored on the other side, so that you'll have to fight 2 steel guards at once. I'm going to go ahead and answer your question just in chat. Do you lose lives falling? No. You just respawn at the entrance. Yeah, there is no live system that like a Zelda 2 has. Really, the live system went out of vogue decades ago. It was necessary back in the paid arcade days, but this is a web player game. You're playing this on your local machine. There's no reason to force you to have extra lives. And I'm going to go ahead and type that just in case it didn't get through. Yeah. And it just makes the game less fun. Right. So all of this though doesn't really do a lot to answer my question about why my special battle chamber teleporter isn't happening. No. Actually, let's think about this. Debug mode, local teleporter. Left and right. Activate object. Wait a second. Interesting. That's running on the update cycle. So I should be seeing a debug message. That's very interesting. I think we've got a problem. Yeah, this is really, in my opinion, the way the game development winds up working is you'll be trying to do something, you'll have to go off and do something else, but it makes you think about your problem so that you wind up coming back to it. So check switches, enable object, void. This one gets ran through, all pressed, and okay. That's what I... Actually, no. That's not necessary. So, this might lag my bit, but I think it'll help us get to the bottom of why the thing isn't working. Oh, unexpected symbol. That's there we go. I'm going to leave myself a note. I can go back and look at it as part of my homework. Besides, it's getting a little bit late. I'm going to go on for a few more minutes. Let's go ahead and try let's try doing some other stuff too. So we got some enemies. I think what we need is an event location. Go ahead and do that. Also, if you have any ideas, definitely feel free to post in chat. In the chat, I do watch it. I will be more than happy to respond. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. I think that's one of my big pet peeves. Also with have folks who are writing games who just sort of blow off. They sort of blow off their audience, and I don't like that. That seriously bothers me. I definitely want y'all's input because I know I'm not the best game developer, and together we can do something about that. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead. There we go. And yeah, you can see I have the trigger right there. I'm gonna go ahead. Wait a sec. Step entry, event location, particle. Huh? That's particles? I don't remember that having particles. What the hell? Oh well. Oh, I know what that is. Dang it. I know exactly what that is. That's for the world map, actually. I really need to label my stuff better. Yeah, those are both world map things. Spawner. See what's in this guy. Spawner. Huh. Yeah. Definitely use a couple of those. Yeah. Go ahead and do that. You guys steel guard spawn. Right? Actually, what I'm going to do that